What's the difference between someone who falls asleep in minutes and someone who tosses and turns for hours? It might surprise you. It's often what they ate 3-4 hours before bed. With 84% of adults over 60 reporting difficulty sleeping, most people focus on what not to eat before bed, missing the powerful foods that can actually invite drowsiness and deeper rest. Tonight, I'm revealing 6 scientifically backed foods that work like nature's sleep aids, along with their ideal timing for maximum effectiveness. The best part? You don't need to shop at fancy health stores or spend a fortune. These sleep-promoting foods are hiding in plain sight in your everyday groceries. One of them is probably sitting in your fruit bowl right now. But first, let me paint you a picture of what might be happening in your bedroom tonight. The sleep crisis nobody's talking about. Picture this. It's 2:17 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling again. Your body feels heavy with exhaustion, but your mind races like it's running a marathon. You shift positions for the 100th time tonight, hoping maybe this angle will finally let sleep take over. But no luck. The red numbers on your alarm clock seem to mock you as they creep toward 3 a.m. then 4 a.m. You've got an important day ahead, yet here you are wide awake when the rest of the world sleeps peacefully. Sound familiar? You're definitely not alone in this midnight struggle. The latest 2025 sleep research reveals some truly alarming trends. More than 2/3 of adults now report sleep disturbances nightly, up from previous years. The numbers get even more concerning when we look at adults over 60, where between 40% and 70% of older adults experience chronic sleep issues. That's nearly half to more than 2/3 of people in this age group, fighting the same battle you might be facing right now. What's particularly frustrating is how many so-called solutions people try that simply don't work. Chances are you've tried counting sheep, rearranging pillows, blackout curtains, and expensive sleep gadgets only to find no lasting relief. That breathing technique, where you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8 sounds scientific enough, but leaves you more focused on counting than actually relaxing. Some people invest in blackout curtains, so thick they could block out the sun during a solar eclipse. Others buy white noise machines that sound like gentle rainfall or ocean waves. There are those special sleep masks designed by NASA engineers and pajamas made from bamboo fiber that supposedly regulate body temperature. Yet despite all these attempts, many people still find themselves trapped in the same cycle of sleepless nights, followed by exhausted days. The reality is that sleep naturally becomes more challenging as we age, and it's not just in your head. Your body produces less melatonin, the hormone that signals bedtime to your brain. Your sleep cycles become lighter and more fragmented. You might find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. for no apparent reason, then struggling to fall back asleep. The deep restorative sleep stages that once came so naturally now seem like a distant memory. The cost of these sleepless nights goes far beyond feeling tired the next day. Poor sleep affects your immune system, making you more susceptible to every cold and virus that comes around. It impacts your mood, turning you into someone you barely recognize, irritable and short-tempered over the smallest things. Your memory suffers, and you might find yourself forgetting names or walking into rooms with no idea why you went there. The frustration builds as you realize you're not functioning at your best, yet you can't seem to fix the root problem. Here's where things get interesting, though. While you've been searching for solutions in sleep aids and bedroom modifications, the answer might be sitting right in your refrigerator. Your evening food choices play a massive role in determining whether you'll sleep soundly or spend another night counting ceiling tiles. This isn't about avoiding caffeine or steering clear of spicy foods, which everyone already knows. This is about specific foods that can actually promote better sleep, working with your body's natural chemistry instead of against it. The connection between nutrition and sleep runs much deeper than most people realize. Certain foods contain compounds that naturally increase drowsiness. Others provide the building blocks your brain needs to produce sleep hormones. Some help relax your muscles, while others calm your nervous system. When you understand which foods have these properties, and more importantly, when to eat them, you can turn your kitchen into your personal sleep laboratory. Think about it this way. The snack you choose at 7 p.m. could determine whether you're asleep by 10 p.m. or still tossing and turning at midnight. The timing of your dinner might be the difference between waking up refreshed or dragging yourself out of bed feeling like you've been hit by a truck. These aren't minor factors, they're game changers that most people never consider. The 6 foods I'm about to share with you aren't exotic superfoods that cost a fortune or require a trip to specialty health stores. You won't need to hunt down rare berries from remote mountains or seaweed harvested during full moons. These are everyday items you can find at any grocery store, foods that have been quietly helping people sleep better for decades while flying completely under the radar. What makes these foods so effective is that they work naturally with your body's existing systems. Instead of forcing drowsiness like some medications, they gently encourage your natural sleep processes. They provide the nutrients your brain needs to wind down for the night. They help regulate the hormones that control your sleep-wake cycle. Most importantly, they do all this without the side effects or dependency risks that come with artificial sleep aids. Here's something that might surprise you. One of these 6 foods is something most people eat at exactly the wrong time of day. They consume it when they want energy and alertness, when they should be saving it for when they want calm and sleepiness. This simple timing mistake could be costing you 2 to 3 hours of quality sleep every single night. Imagine what your days would look like if you could reclaim those lost hours of rest. Another food on this list contains a natural compound that works similarly to expensive sleep supplements, except it's been available in your local produce section all along. People spend hundreds of dollars on pills trying to get the same benefits they could achieve with a simple bedtime snack that costs less than a cup of coffee. The most remarkable thing about these foods is how quickly they can start working. Unlike medications that might take weeks to show effects or lifestyle changes that require months of consistency, you could potentially see improvements in your sleep quality within just a few nights of making these simple dietary adjustments. Your kitchen holds more power over your sleep than you might have ever imagined. Tonight's dinner choices really could determine tomorrow's energy levels. The snack you eat before bed might be the key to finally experiencing that deep, restful sleep you've been missing. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, starting with something small and red that might just change everything. The tiny red powerhouse that beats melatonin pills. Tart cherries contain natural melatonin, the same sleep hormone found in supplements, making this small red fruit a powerful ally in your quest for better sleep. This tiny powerhouse doesn't just taste good, it actually produces melatonin naturally, the very compound your brain needs to signal bedtime. These cherries might just revolutionize how you think about natural sleep aids. In one study, adults who drank Tart cherry juice nightly fell asleep faster and woke less often. The participants experienced significant improvements in sleep quality without any of the grogginess often associated with synthetic sleep aids. What makes this particularly compelling is that these weren't people with severe sleep disorders, they were regular adults dealing with the same nighttime struggles you might be facing. Now I know what you're thinking. Just eating fruit to fix sleep problems sounds about as scientific as using crystals to charge your phone. Many people have that same initial skepticism. They figure it's probably just a coincidence, or maybe they're finally so exhausted their body gives up fighting sleep. But the science behind this approach goes much deeper than wishful thinking. The science behind this isn't just wishful thinking or placebo effect. Tart cherries naturally contain melatonin, the same hormone your pineal gland produces to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. But here's where it gets really interesting. The melatonin in Tart cherries isn't synthetic or artificially created like what you find in supplement bottles. It's produced by the cherry trees themselves as part of their natural defense system against environmental stressors. When you consume these cherries, you're getting melatonin in its most natural bioavailable form, along with other compounds that support sleep like tryptophan and anthocyanins. This natural approach offers several advantages over synthetic melatonin pills. First, the melatonin in Tart cherries comes with cofactors, other natural compounds that help your body absorb and use it more effectively. Synthetic supplements often contain much higher doses than your body would naturally produce, which can sometimes leave you feeling groggy the next morning. The natural melatonin in Tart cherries provides a gentler, more balanced effect that works with your body's existing rhythms rather than overwhelming them. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the sugar concern. Many people worry that eating any fruit before bed will spike their blood sugar and keep them awake. While this concern makes sense, tart cherries are different from sweet fruits in important ways. They're naturally lower in sugar than many other fruits, and the small portions needed for sleep benefits contain minimal amounts. Plus, the fiber in whole cherries helps slow sugar absorption, preventing the rapid blood sugar spikes that could interfere with sleep. Think of it this way: you're consuming far less sugar than you'd get from a glass of wine or a small dessert, both of which many people have before bed without thinking twice. The timing of when you eat these cherries makes all the difference between success and disappointment. Most people either eat fruit too close to bedtime, which can cause digestive disruption, or too early in the evening, when the melatonin effects wear off before they actually want to sleep. Research suggests consuming tart cherry juice about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime allows your body time to absorb the melatonin and prepare for rest. You have several practical options for incorporating tart cherries into your evening routine. Tart cherry juice is probably the most convenient option, and many people find it easier to consume the right amount consistently. Look for 100% tart cherry juice without added sugars, and drink about 4 to 6 ounces roughly 1 to 2 hours before you want to fall asleep. If you prefer whole fruit, a small handful of fresh tart cherries works well, though they can be harder to find year-round outside of cherry season. Dried tart cherries offer another alternative, but check the labels carefully since many brands add sugar during the drying process, which defeats the purpose. Fresh tart cherries provide the added benefit of hydration and fiber, but they're typically only available during summer months. Frozen tart cherries maintain most of their nutritional benefits and can be found year-round in many grocery stores. You can thaw a small portion for an evening snack or blend them into a simple bedtime smoothie with a small amount of unsweetened almond milk. Here's something that might surprise you about why tart cherries become more important as you age. Your natural melatonin production doesn't just slightly decrease over the years, it can drop dramatically. By age 60, many people produce only about half the melatonin they did in their 20s. This decline helps explain why sleep problems often worsen with age, and why children seem to fall asleep so effortlessly while adults struggle. Tart cherries essentially provide an external source of the hormone your body is producing less of naturally. There's also an important distinction between tart cherries and the sweet cherries you typically find in fruit salads or eat as snacks. Sweet cherries like Bing or Royal Anne varieties contain much lower levels of melatonin and won't provide the same sleep benefits. You specifically need tart or sour cherries, such as Montmorency cherries, which are the variety most commonly used in research studies. The names can be confusing since some stores label them as sour cherries or pie cherries, but they're the same fruit that provides the sleep-promoting compounds. The beauty of tart cherries lies in their simplicity. While pharmaceutical companies spend millions developing complex sleep medications, nature has already created an effective solution that's been growing on trees for thousands of years. You don't need a prescription or a consultation with a sleep specialist. You don't have to worry about drug interactions or side effects that could impact your daily functioning. For optimal results, consume about 4-6 ounces of tart cherry juice, or approximately 15-20 fresh tart cherries, roughly 90 minutes before your desired bedtime. This timing allows the natural melatonin to begin working as you start winding down for the evening. Start with smaller amounts to see how your body responds, since individual sensitivity can vary. Some people notice improvements within the first few nights, while others might need a week or two of consistent use to experience the full benefits. The key is consistency rather than perfection. Make tart cherries part of your regular evening routine, just like brushing your teeth or setting your alarm clock. Your body will begin to associate this ritual with bedtime preparation, making the sleep-promoting effects even stronger over time. But tart cherries are just the beginning of what your kitchen has to offer for better sleep. There's another food that most people consume at completely the wrong time of day, a timing mistake that could be costing you hours of rest every week. The breakfast food you should eat at dinner. Here's a food that breaks every breakfast rule you've ever learned and could be the key to your best night's sleep in years. Most people reach for this warm, comforting bowl first thing in the morning when they want energy and alertness. But what if I told you they've got the timing completely backwards? What if this humble breakfast staple actually works better as a bedtime snack than it ever did as a morning meal? We're talking about oatmeal, and the timing mistake most people make could be costing you hours of rest every week. The idea of eating oatmeal at night probably sounds about as logical as having dinner for breakfast or wearing winter coats in July. We've been conditioned to think of oats as morning fuel designed to power us through busy days ahead. The marketing messages reinforce this belief with images of energetic people starting their day with steaming bowls of oatmeal, ready to conquer whatever challenges await them. But this conventional thinking misses something crucial about how oats actually affect your body chemistry. Most people consume oatmeal at exactly the wrong time when they want to feel alert and energized rather than calm and sleepy. They eat it at 7 a.m. when their cortisol levels are naturally rising and their bodies are preparing for an active day. This timing wastes oatmeal's most valuable property, its ability to promote relaxation and prepare your nervous system for rest. It's like using a lullaby as your morning alarm clock, completely missing the point of what makes it effective. The science behind oatmeal's sleep-promoting powers lies in its composition of complex carbohydrates, which play a crucial role in your brain's production of serotonin. Oats are complex carbohydrates shown to increase serotonin and melatonin production in about 90 minutes. When you eat oats, your body breaks down these complex carbs slowly and steadily, raising your blood sugar just enough to signal your brain that it's time to increase serotonin production. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that promotes feelings of calm and relaxation, the exact mental state you need to transition from wakefulness to sleep. This process works best when your body isn't fighting against natural cortisol surges or trying to maintain alertness for daily activities. Here's where many people get confused about eating carbohydrates before bed. The anti-carb messaging has been so strong for so many years that people automatically assume any carbs consumed in the evening will sabotage their sleep or their waistline. But complex carbohydrates like those found in oats behave very differently from simple sugars or refined carbs. The fiber in whole oats slows down digestion, preventing the rapid blood sugar spikes that could indeed interfere with sleep. Instead of causing energy surges, oats provide a gentle, sustained release of glucose that supports steady serotonin production throughout the evening. The sleep-promoting effect becomes even stronger when you pair oatmeal with calcium-rich liquids like almond milk or regular milk. Calcium helps your brain convert serotonin into melatonin, the hormone that directly regulates your sleep-wake cycle. This combination creates what researchers describe as natural sleep chemistry, your body producing the exact compounds it needs for restful sleep using simple whole food ingredients rather than synthetic supplements. Think about the irony here. People spend hundreds of dollars on complex sleep supplements with names they can't pronounce, while a container of plain oats sits in their pantry, costing less than a fancy coffee drink. Those expensive bottles promise to support serotonin production or boost melatonin levels using isolated compounds and synthetic additives. Meanwhile, oats accomplish the same goals using nature's original formula, providing not just the carbohydrates needed for serotonin production, but also B vitamins, magnesium, and fiber that support overall nervous system health. The key to using oats as a sleep aid lies in proper preparation and timing. You want a small portion, about half the size you'd normally eat for breakfast, prepared with warm liquid to enhance comfort and digestion. Steel-cut oats work well, but take longer to prepare. So many people prefer old-fashioned rolled oats that cook quickly in the microwave or on the stovetop. Add a calcium-rich liquid like unsweetened almond milk, regular milk, or even a plant-based milk fortified with calcium. A small drizzle of honey or maple syrup can enhance the serotonin-boosting effect, but keep sweeteners minimal since you don't want blood sugar spikes interfering with sleep. Timing matters more than you might expect for maximizing oatmeal's sleep benefits. Eat your bowl about 60 to 90 minutes before you want to fall asleep, allowing enough time for digestion and serotonin production. but not so much time that the effects wear off before bedtime. This timing prevents the digestive discomfort that can occur when you eat too close to lying down, while ensuring the calming effects peak just as you're ready to sleep. Some people worry that eating any food before bed will cause weight gain or digestive issues, but a small portion of oats actually supports stable blood sugar throughout the night. The fiber helps prevent the blood sugar crashes that can wake you up at 2 or 3 a.m. feeling shaky or anxious. Instead of disrupting sleep, oats can actually help you stay asleep longer by providing steady fuel for your brain and nervous system. The preparation ritual itself adds to oatmeal's sleep-promoting benefits. The act of slowly stirring warm oats, taking in the comforting aroma, and sitting quietly with a warm bowl creates a natural wind-down routine that signals to your brain that it's time to shift into rest mode. This mindful preparation becomes part of your evening routine, as important as brushing your teeth or setting your alarm clock. Making this simple timing switch from morning to evening could genuinely add hours of quality sleep to your week. Instead of fighting against your body's natural evening chemistry, you're working with it, providing exactly what your brain needs to produce its own sleep-promoting compounds. That container of oats in your pantry isn't just breakfast food anymore, it's a natural sleep aid that's been hiding in plain sight all along. But sometimes, even when your mind feels calm and ready for sleep, your body has other plans. Sometimes you finally crawl into bed exhausted, only to discover that your muscles seem to have developed a mind of their own. The nutty solution to restless legs and racing minds. That restless energy coursing through your limbs and the anxious thoughts spinning in your head both have a surprisingly simple solution hiding in your pantry right now. While most people think of almonds as a healthy daytime snack or something to toss into salads, they're actually missing out on this nut's most impressive talent: its ability to calm both jittery muscles and anxious minds when consumed at the right time. You know that feeling when you finally get into bed exhausted from a long day, but suddenly your legs start acting like they have a mind of their own. They feel restless, twitchy, almost like there's electricity running through them, demanding movement when all you want is stillness. Or maybe it's your mind that won't cooperate, racing from one thought to another, replaying conversations from earlier or worrying about tomorrow's responsibilities. Your body craves rest, but these annoying sensations keep you trapped in that frustrating space between awake and asleep. The more you try to ignore the restlessness, the more pronounced it becomes, until you're convinced you'll never find peace. The magnesium deficiency, epidemic among older adults, creates the perfect storm for nighttime restlessness and sleep disruption. According to the National Institutes of Health, magnesium is involved in many bodily functions, including sleep regulation, and older adults are at higher risk of deficiency. This widespread deficiency helps explain why so many people over 60 struggle with muscle tension, restless sensations, and difficulty staying asleep. When your body lacks adequate magnesium, your muscles can't fully relax, your nervous system remains on edge, and your brain struggles to transition into the calm state necessary for deep sleep. Almonds deliver a 1-2 punch for better sleep, providing both magnesium for muscle relaxation and tryptophan for mental calmness. The magnesium content helps your muscles release tension and stops those annoying restless sensations that keep you tossing and turning. But almonds don't stop there. They also contain tryptophan, the amino acid your body uses to produce serotonin and melatonin, the hormones that regulate sleep cycles and promote feelings of calm. This dual benefit means you're addressing both the physical restlessness and the mental racing that can sabotage your sleep. The Sleep Foundation notes that magnesium is a key nutrient for muscle relaxation, which explains why almonds can be so effective for people experiencing physical restlessness at bedtime. Restless legs syndrome affects 5% to 10% of adults, and the connection between magnesium deficiency and this condition is well documented. When your muscles can't relax properly due to insufficient magnesium, your brain interprets this tension as a signal that you need to stay alert and ready for action. Your nervous system remains in a state of mild activation, making it nearly impossible to achieve the mental quiet necessary for sleep. Now let's talk about portion control, because this is where many people either overthink things or go completely overboard. When someone says eat a handful of almonds, they usually mean their handful, which could be anywhere from 5 nuts to 25 nuts, depending on the size of their hands and their enthusiasm for the solution. For optimal sleep benefits, you want approximately 8 to 10 almonds consumed about an hour before bedtime. This provides roughly 75 to 80 milligrams of magnesium, along with a modest amount of tryptophan, without overwhelming your digestive system or adding excessive calories to your evening routine. The type of almonds you choose makes a significant difference in how well this strategy works. You absolutely must stick with unsalted varieties because salt can sabotage your sleep in multiple ways. Salt leads to dehydration, which means more trips to the bathroom during the night, disrupting your sleep cycles. It can also increase blood pressure and create a feeling of restlessness that counteracts the calming effects you're trying to achieve. Raw almonds work perfectly, though lightly roasted, unsalted varieties are fine too. Avoid flavored almonds, honey-roasted versions, or anything with added seasonings, since these additions can interfere with the natural sleep-promoting compounds. Here's something fascinating about the connection between muscle relaxation and mental calmness that most people never consider. When your muscles are tense and restless, your brain interprets this as a signal that you need to stay alert and ready for action. But when your muscles begin to relax thanks to adequate magnesium intake, your brain receives the opposite signal that it's safe to wind down and prepare for rest. This creates a positive feedback loop where physical relaxation promotes mental calmness, which in turn supports deeper physical relaxation. For maximum effectiveness, consume your 8 to 10 raw unsalted almonds approximately 60 minutes before you want to fall asleep. This timing allows your body to begin processing the magnesium and tryptophan while you're still awake and active. Then the calming effects peak just as you're settling into bed. Some people prefer to eat their almonds as part of an evening routine, along with other wind-down activities like reading or gentle stretching. Others simply keep a small bowl of almonds on their nightstand and eat them while they're getting ready for bed. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity and safety. Unlike prescription medications for restless legs or anxiety, almonds have no side effects, no dependency risks, and no interactions with other medications. You're simply providing your body with nutrients it needs to function optimally, particularly minerals that become increasingly important as you age, and your body's ability to absorb and retain them naturally decreases over time. But what if your restless legs calm down and your racing thoughts quiet, yet you still find yourself lying awake wondering why that heavy feeling of drowsiness never quite arrives? Sometimes the missing piece isn't about relaxation at all, but about triggering that unmistakable wave of sleepiness that makes your eyelids feel heavy and your body naturally ready to surrender to rest. The Thanksgiving effect you can have every night. That drowsy sensation you're seeking might be closer than you think, sitting right in your refrigerator wrapped in deli paper. We've all heard about the famous Thanksgiving turkey coma, that mysterious drowsiness that hits after the big family feast. Everyone sits around the table feeling pleasantly stuffed. Then suddenly Uncle Bob is snoring in his recliner, and half the family looks ready to join him for an impromptu nap. But is this legendary post-turkey sleepiness actually real, or just another food myth that gets passed around like family recipes? The truth might surprise you, and more importantly, you can harness this same drowsy effect any night of the year without needing to cook an entire Thanksgiving spread. Picture the scene at any family gathering. The table groans under platters of turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, and cranberry sauce. Everyone loads their plates with generous portions, talking and laughing as they dig into the feast. Within an hour, the lively conversation dies down to sleepy murmurs. People start rubbing their eyes and stretching in their chairs. Someone mentions feeling unusually tired, even though it's only 3 in the afternoon. The kids who were bouncing off the walls an hour earlier now look like they're melting into the couch. It's almost comical how predictably this drowsiness strikes, turning energetic family members into a room full of sleepy bears ready for hibernation. Most people have been taught to avoid protein before bed based on outdated nutritional advice, that assumes all proteins are created equal. The conventional wisdom suggests that protein is energizing and stimulating, perfect for breakfast or lunch, but problematic for evening consumption. This protein timing myth has led countless people to avoid what could be one of their most effective natural sleep aids. They worry that eating any protein before bed will rev up their metabolism, keep their digestive system working overtime, or somehow interfere with their body's natural wind-down process. But this blanket rule completely ignores the specific properties of different protein sources and how they affect your brain chemistry. Turkey's high tryptophan content has been linked to deeper sleep when consumed 90 minutes before bed. This amino acid serves as raw material for your body to produce both serotonin and melatonin, the two key hormones responsible for sleep regulation. Serotonin creates feelings of calm and relaxation, while melatonin directly signals to your brain that it's time to sleep. When you eat turkey, your digestive system breaks down the protein, releasing tryptophan into your bloodstream, where it can travel to your brain and begin the process of creating these natural sleep compounds. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the concern about eating protein close to bedtime and digestive disruption. Many people worry that consuming any substantial food in the evening will keep their digestive system active, interfering with their body's natural preparation for sleep. This concern makes perfect sense when you're talking about heavy, high-fat proteins or large portions that require significant digestive effort. But turkey breast is different. It's a lean protein that digests relatively easily, especially when consumed in appropriate portions. The key difference between a strategic turkey snack and a sleep-disrupting protein meal lies entirely in the amount and timing. A Thanksgiving feast involves massive portions of turkey, along with heavy sides like stuffing loaded with butter, mashed potatoes, swimming in gravy, and rich desserts that collectively overwhelm your digestive system. The drowsiness that follows results partly from tryptophan, but also from your body working overtime to process this enormous caloric load. Your digestive system diverts blood flow and energy away from other functions, leaving you feeling sluggish and tired. This is completely different from eating a small portion of lean turkey breast as a targeted bedtime snack. The combination of tryptophan-rich foods like turkey with carbohydrates can be particularly effective at reducing insomnia. Carbs help the body absorb tryptophan, making the combination more effective than either turkey or carbs alone. This is why a small portion of turkey with a whole grain side dish can be a great choice for evening consumption. The carbohydrates help escort tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier, where it can begin its work of promoting sleepiness. For optimal tryptophan absorption and sleep benefits, consume 2 to 3 thin slices of turkey breast approximately 2 to 3 hours before your desired bedtime. This timing allows your digestive system to break down the protein and begin converting tryptophan into sleep-promoting compounds while giving you enough time to process the food before lying down. Eating turkey too close to bedtime might cause mild digestive discomfort, while eating it too early means the sleep-promoting effects might wear off before you actually want to fall asleep. The preparation method matters more than you might expect for maximizing turkey's sleep benefits. Choose lean turkey breast rather than darker meat or processed turkey products that often contain added sodium and preservatives. Roasted or baked turkey works perfectly while avoiding fried or heavily seasoned preparations that could be stimulating rather than calming. You can eat the turkey plain or pair it with a small amount of complex carbohydrates like a few whole grain crackers, which can actually enhance tryptophan absorption. Some people find that creating a simple turkey and lettuce wrap using a small whole wheat tortilla makes for a satisfying bedtime snack that combines the tryptophan benefits with additional sleep-supporting nutrients. Others prefer to simply eat a few slices of turkey breast on their own, focusing on the pure protein benefits without any additional components. The beauty of using turkey as a natural sleep aid lies in its reliability and safety. Unlike synthetic sleep medications that can cause dependency or morning grogginess, turkey works with your body's existing biochemical processes. You're simply providing the raw materials your brain needs to produce its own sleep hormones naturally. The The drowsiness you experience comes from your own melatonin production, not from external chemicals forcing artificial sleep states. This approach transforms an ordinary deli meat into a powerful tool for better sleep. Those few slices of turkey sitting in your refrigerator represent the same tryptophan that creates the famous Thanksgiving drowsiness available any night you need it. But sometimes, even when you've addressed the mental racing and muscle tension, and provided your brain with sleep-promoting compounds, you might still find yourself dealing with another common sleep disruptor. Sometimes the solution requires looking beyond individual nutrients to find something that addresses multiple sleep challenges at once. The yellow pharmacy that fits in your pocket. That comprehensive approach might be found in something as simple as a bright yellow fruit that most people walk past in the grocery store without realizing they're looking at nature's most complete sleep pharmacy. This curved powerhouse contains not one but two essential minerals that your body desperately needs for quality sleep, yet it costs less than $1 and fits perfectly in your pocket or purse. While people spend fortunes on complex sleep supplements and fancy magnesium pills, this humble fruit has been quietly delivering the same benefits for pennies on the dollar. The mineral deficiency crisis among older adults creates the perfect recipe for sleep disruption, and these deficiencies tend to worsen with age, making quality sleep increasingly elusive. Your body's ability to absorb and retain essential minerals naturally declines over time, while your need for these nutrients actually increases. Magnesium deficiency affects a shocking percentage of adults, over 60, contributing to muscle tension, restless legs, and the inability to stay asleep through the night. Potassium deficiency compounds these problems, causing muscle cramps and nerve signaling issues that can jolt you awake at the most inconvenient times. Bananas deliver a 1-2 punch against these age-related mineral deficiencies, providing both magnesium and potassium in a perfectly balanced natural package. The magnesium content helps relax your muscles and calm your nervous system, preparing your body for the deep rest it craves. Meanwhile, the potassium works to prevent those annoying muscle cramps and twitches that can wake you up just as you're drifting off to sleep. This dual mineral action creates what researchers describe as an internal environment conducive to deep rest, where both your muscles and your mind can truly let go. Now let's tackle the sugar elephant in the room, because many people immediately worry about eating any fruit before bedtime, assuming it will spike their blood sugar and keep them wired all night long. This concern stems from confusing natural fruit sugars with the processed sweeteners found in candy, cookies, and other bedtime snacks that genuinely can disrupt sleep. Bananas contain natural sugars, but they're packaged with fiber that slows down absorption, preventing the rapid blood sugar spikes that lead to energy crashes and sleep disturbances. The fiber acts like a release mechanism, ensuring steady energy levels throughout the night rather than the roller coaster effect you'd get from processed sweets. Here's where things get really interesting. When you combine a banana with a small amount of nut butter, you create a synergistic effect that multiplies the sleep benefits exponentially. The healthy fats in almond butter or peanut butter help stabilize your blood sugar even further, while providing additional magnesium and protein that supports sustained energy levels through the night. This combination prevents both the 2 a.m. wake-ups caused by blood sugar crashes and the 3 a.m. hunger pangs that can strike when your evening snack doesn't provide enough staying power. The simplicity of this solution stands in stark contrast to the complex sleep protocols and expensive supplement regimens that many people attempt to follow. While some folks are measuring out precise doses of multiple supplements, timing their intake with military precision, and tracking their sleep data with fancy devices, others are getting better results with a banana and a spoonful of nut butter. It's like comparing a Swiss watch to a sundial. Sometimes the simpler approach works better than the complicated one. Research shows consuming meals at least 2 to 3 hours before bed improves sleep onset and reduces nighttime disruptions. For optimal sleep benefits, eat half to 1 whole banana paired with about 1 teaspoon of natural nut butter approximately 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. This timing allows your body to process the natural sugars and begin absorbing the minerals while still giving you enough time to digest the food comfortably before lying down. Some people prefer to slice their banana and dip each piece in nut butter, creating a more satisfying snack experience. Others mash the banana slightly and spread the nut butter on top, making it easier to eat and digest. The beauty of this combination lies in how it addresses multiple sleep disruptors simultaneously. The magnesium relaxes tense muscles that might keep you tossing and turning. The potassium prevents cramps and restless sensations in your legs. The natural sugars provide gentle fuel for your brain, preventing those middle-of-the-night hunger signals that can wake you up. The healthy fats ensure sustained energy release, keeping your blood sugar stable for hours. This yellow pharmacy that fits in your pocket transforms an ordinary piece of fruit into a comprehensive sleep solution. Those bananas sitting on your kitchen counter represent the same minerals found in expensive supplements, plus additional benefits that synthetic pills simply cannot provide. The combination of banana and nut butter creates a perfect storm of sleep-supporting nutrients that work together to keep you asleep from bedtime until morning, eliminating both the 2 a.m. wake-ups and the 3 a.m. hunger pangs that have been sabotaging your rest for far too long. But sometimes, even when you've addressed the physical aspects of sleep, with proper nutrition, your mind still refuses to cooperate. Sometimes anxiety and racing thoughts create their own barriers to rest, barriers that have been quietly building for thousands of years, yet somehow the solution has been hiding in plain sight all along. The ancient sleep potion hiding in your tea cabinet. That solution has been sitting quietly in your tea cabinet all along, waiting to transform your anxious evenings into peaceful nights. There's an ancient remedy that's been quietly calming nervous minds and restless bodies for over 5,000 years, yet most people walk right past it in their grocery store tea aisle without realizing they're looking at one of nature's most effective sleep potions. This delicate flower-based solution has been used by civilizations from ancient Egypt to medieval Europe, all discovering the same remarkable ability to transform anxious energy into peaceful drowsiness. The connection between anxiety and sleep disruption becomes more pronounced with age, creating a vicious cycle that traps many older adults in patterns of worry and wakefulness. As responsibilities accumulate and health concerns increase, the mind naturally becomes more active during evening hours when it should be winding down. Physical changes that come with aging, such as decreased melatonin production and increased sensitivity to stress hormones, compound this problem, making it harder to achieve the mental quiet necessary for deep sleep. Your nervous system remains on high alert, scanning for potential problems or rehearsing conversations that might never happen, while your body grows more exhausted with each passing hour. A 2017 trial found older adults who consumed chamomile extract saw significant improvements in sleep quality. The science behind chamomile's remarkable calming effect centers on a powerful compound called apigenin, which acts like a gentle key that unlocks specific receptors in your brain responsible for reducing anxiety and promoting relaxation. When you drink chamomile tea, the apigenin travels through your bloodstream, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and binds to benzodiazepine receptors in your brain, the same receptors targeted by prescription anti-anxiety medications. However, unlike synthetic drugs that can cause dependency and side effects, apigenin provides a much gentler effect that works with your body's natural chemistry rather than overwhelming it. Chamomile's apigenin compound has demonstrated mild sedative effects by binding to GABA receptors, creating what researchers describe as a gentle transition from nervous tension to peaceful relaxation. This process works with your body's existing systems rather than forcing artificial drowsiness like some medications do. The compound essentially tells your overactive mind that it's safe to slow down and prepare for rest without the grogginess or cognitive impairment associated with stronger sleep aids. Many people remain skeptical about herbal remedies, assuming they're just old wives' tales without scientific backing. But chamomile has been extensively studied and validated by modern research. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated that chamomile consumption significantly improves sleep quality reduces the time it takes to fall asleep, and decreases nighttime awakenings. The research consistently shows that chamomile works not through placebo effects, but through genuine biochemical changes in brain chemistry that promote natural relaxation. Here's something fascinating about chamomile that sets it apart from other bedtime beverages. The ritual of preparation matters almost as much as the tea itself. The act of measuring loose flowers or steeping a tea bag, watching the golden color develop, and inhaling the gentle floral aroma creates a mindful transition from the day's activities to evening rest. This preparation process signals to your brain that it's time to shift from active problem-solving mode to passive receptive mode. The warmth of the mug in your hands, the steam rising from the surface, and the quiet moments of sipping create a multisensory experience that enhances the tea's natural calming properties. Unlike other herbal teas that might taste medicinal or require added sweeteners to be palatable, chamomile offers a naturally pleasant flavor that many people describe as soothing and comforting. While peppermint tea can be stimulating, and green tea contains caffeine that could interfere with sleep, chamomile provides pure relaxation without any compounds that might work against your sleep goals. Some herbal sleep blends combine multiple ingredients, making it difficult to identify which components are actually helpful. But chamomile works beautifully on its own, providing clear, straightforward benefits. The optimal brewing method for maximum sleep benefits involves using water that's hot, but not boiling around 200 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve the delicate compounds that create chamomile's calming effects. Steep 1 tea bag or 1 teaspoon of loose chamomile flowers for 5 to 7 minutes, allowing enough time for the apigenin and other beneficial compounds to fully extract into the water. Cover your cup while steeping to prevent the essential oils from evaporating, and drink the tea about 30 to 45 minutes before your desired bedtime. This timing allows the compounds to begin working while you're still engaged in quiet evening activities, then reach peak effectiveness just as you're settling into bed. Some people enhance their chamomile experience by adding a small spoonful of honey, which provides additional tryptophan and natural sugars that support serotonin production. Others prefer a splash of warm almond milk, which adds calcium and magnesium for extra muscle relaxation benefits. The key is keeping additions minimal, so the chamomile remains the star of this bedtime performance. This simple flower-based ritual can quiet both your anxious mind and your restless body within 30 minutes of consumption, creating the perfect internal environment for deep restorative sleep. The ancient wisdom that recognized chamomile's power thousands of years ago continues to offer modern solutions for timeless sleep struggles. You now have 6 powerful foods that can transform your night's Tart cherries with their natural melatonin oats that boost serotonin production, almonds packed with muscle-relaxing magnesium, turkey rich in sleep-promoting tryptophan, bananas delivering essential minerals, and chamomile tea with its anxiety-calming compounds. The power to reclaim your sleep has been hiding in your kitchen all along, waiting for you to discover these natural solutions that work with your body rather than against it. Try incorporating just one of these foods into your evening routine tonight and share your results in the comments below. But here's something crucial that could make or break your success with these natural sleep aids: the timing mistake that's stealing your sleep. Most people don't realize that when you eat these sleep-promoting foods matters far more than what you actually consume. You could be eating every single one of the 6 foods we've discussed, but if your timing is off, you might as well be drinking espresso before bed. It's like taking the right medicine at the wrong time. The ingredients are perfect, but the results are completely backwards from what you want. Picture someone carefully selecting Tart cherries for their natural melatonin, then eating them at 2 in the afternoon, when their body should be producing energy, not sleep hormones. Or imagine another person dutifully preparing a bowl of oatmeal every evening, but consuming it 20 minutes before climbing into bed, wondering why they feel uncomfortably full and restless instead of calm and sleepy. These timing mistakes happen constantly, turning potentially helpful foods into sleep saboteurs that work against everything you're trying to achieve. The problem with poor timing runs deeper than simple inconvenience. It can actually transform beneficial foods into active sleep disruptors. When you eat sleep-promoting foods too close to bedtime, your digestive system kicks into high gear, just as your body should be winding down for rest. Your heart rate increases to support digestion, blood flow redirects to your stomach and intestines, and your core body temperature rises, all of which send signals to your brain that it's time for activity, not sleep. This digestive activation can completely override the calming compounds in foods like chamomile or the natural melatonin in Tart cherries, turning helpful nutrients into obstacles. The science behind this timing sensitivity lies in your circadian rhythms, the internal biological clock that regulates not just your sleep-wake cycle, but also your digestive processes, hormone production, and metabolism. These rhythms evolved over millions of years to synchronize your body's functions with natural light and darkness patterns. When you eat at irregular times or consume food too close to your intended bedtime, you essentially send conflicting signals to this internal clock. Your digestive system receives the message that it's time to work, while your sleep system receives the message that it's time to rest. This internal conflict creates the perfect recipe for restless nights and fragmented sleep. Common timing mistakes happen with each of the 6 foods we've explored, and recognizing these errors can immediately improve your results. Many people drink Tart cherry juice in the morning, thinking they're getting antioxidant benefits, not realizing they're wasting the natural melatonin when their bodies are naturally producing cortisol and other wake-up hormones. Others eat their sleep-promoting oatmeal too late in the evening, causing digestive discomfort that interferes with comfortable sleep positioning. Some folks consume their almonds as afternoon snacks when they could be saving them for their muscle-relaxing and mind-calming effects later in the day. Turkey gets eaten at lunch when people want sustained energy rather than being saved for evening, when the tryptophan can support natural sleep hormone production. Bananas become morning smoothie ingredients instead of bedtime snacks that could prevent middle-of-the-night wake-ups. Chamomile tea gets consumed randomly throughout the day rather than being reserved for the specific pre-sleep ritual that maximizes its anxiety-reducing benefits. The solution lies in understanding what sleep researchers call the 3-4 hour rule, which states that your largest meal should be consumed at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, while smaller snacks can be eaten closer to sleep time, as long as they're specifically chosen for their sleep-promoting properties. This timing allows your body to complete the most intensive digestive work while you're still awake and active, then shift into rest mode as bedtime approaches. Research consistently shows that eating within 2 hours of bedtime is linked to later bedtimes, trouble falling and staying asleep, and even weight gain, because digestion slows down during sleep, creating physical discomforts like heartburn and reflux. Think of your kitchen as a sleep laboratory where timing becomes just as important as ingredients. Your refrigerator and pantry contain powerful sleep-promoting compounds, but they only work when consumed at strategic times that align with your body's natural preparation for rest. The chamomile flowers in your tea cabinet transform into anxiety-reducing medicine when steeped 45 minutes before bed, but become just pleasant-tasting beverages when consumed earlier in the day. The almonds in your snack drawer provide muscle-relaxing magnesium when eaten 60 minutes before sleep, but offer only basic nutrition when consumed as random snacks. Here's a simple timeline that can revolutionize your sleep quality starting tonight. 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, finish your last substantial meal of the day. 2 hours before sleep, consume your sleep-promoting snack, such as turkey slices, banana with almond butter, or a small bowl of oatmeal. 90 minutes before bed, drink your Tart cherry juice, allowing time for natural melatonin absorption. 60 minutes before sleep, eat your handful of almonds for muscle relaxation and mind calming. 45 minutes before bedtime, begin your chamomile tea ritual, steeping the flowers while you engage in other quiet evening activities. 30 minutes before sleep, you should be finished with all food and beverage consumption, except for small sips of water if needed. The remarkable thing about adjusting meal timing is how quickly it can impact your sleep quality. Many people discover that shifting their food consumption by just 1 hour in either direction can add 2 to 3 hours of quality sleep to their night. This happens because proper timing allows sleep-promoting compounds to reach peak effectiveness, just as your body naturally begins producing its own sleep hormones, creating a synergistic effect that multiplies the benefits of both natural and food-based sleep aids. Your timing adjustments tonight could determine whether you experience deep restorative sleep or another night of tossing and turning. But timing is only part of the equation. What if the real secret isn't just when you eat these foods, but how you combine them together? The combination effect that multiplies your results. What happens when you stop thinking about sleep foods as individual ingredients and start viewing them as a symphony where each component amplifies the others? The magic lies not in eating just one of these foods, but in strategically combining them to create exponential benefits that work faster and last longer than any single ingredient could achieve alone. When you understand how to pair these sleep-promoting powerhouses, you transform from someone who hopes for better sleep into someone who engineers it. The discovery often happens completely by accident during particularly stressful periods when people find themselves running late with their usual bedtime routine. Instead of spacing out their sleep aids over 2 hours, they combine several into one simple snack. They might slice half a banana, spread a small amount of almond butter on top, then eat it alongside their usual handful of almonds while sipping chamomile tea. What happens next surprises them more than they expected. That night, they fall asleep in less than 15 minutes and sleep more deeply than they have in years. When they wake up the next morning, they feel genuinely refreshed for the first time in months. Curious about whether this was just a lucky coincidence, they repeat the combination for the next week and discover they can reliably recreate these remarkable results night after night. Now you might be thinking that combining multiple sleep foods sounds like creating the ultimate bedtime feast rather than a strategic snack. The mental image of someone preparing an elaborate spread of turkey slices, oatmeal bowls, cherry juice, and banana combinations might seem more like dinner preparation than sleep optimization. But the beauty of food combinations lies in using smaller portions of complementary ingredients rather than full servings of everything. You're not creating a midnight buffet, you're crafting precise nutritional chemistry that targets your body's sleep systems from multiple angles simultaneously. Single foods work because they provide specific compounds your body needs for sleep, but combinations work exponentially better because they address the complex biochemical processes that regulate rest from every direction at once. Think of sleep as a puzzle with multiple pieces that must fit together perfectly. One food might provide the magnesium needed for muscle relaxation, while another delivers the tryptophan required for serotonin production. When consumed separately, these foods work in isolation, but when combined strategically, they create what researchers call synergistic effects, where the total benefit exceeds the sum of individual parts. The science behind these synergistic effects becomes particularly fascinating when you examine how different nutrients enhance each other's absorption and effectiveness. Pairing proteins like turkey with complex carbohydrates from oats helps tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier more efficiently because the carbohydrates trigger insulin release, which clears competing amino acids from your bloodstream. Similarly, combining minerals like the magnesium in almonds with natural sugars from bananas enhances mineral absorption while providing steady glucose levels that prevent middle-of-the-night wake-ups. These combinations work with your digestive system and brain chemistry in ways that amplify each individual component's sleep-promoting properties. Portion control becomes crucial when combining multiple sleep-promoting foods because the goal is creating targeted nutritional effects, not overwhelming your digestive system with too much food close to bedtime. The portions you'd use for combinations should be smaller than what you'd consume if eating these foods individually. Instead of a full handful of almonds, you might use 5 or 6 nuts. Rather than a whole banana, you'd use half. Instead of 6 ounces of tart cherry juice, you might use 3 ounces combined with other ingredients. This approach maximizes nutritional synergy while minimizing digestive burden that could interfere with comfortable sleep. Different combinations target specific sleep challenges with remarkable precision. If your primary problem is falling asleep quickly, you want combinations that boost immediate relaxation and drowsiness. The banana and almond butter pairing works beautifully here because the natural sugars provide quick fuel for serotonin production, while the healthy fats and magnesium create lasting calm. For people who fall asleep easily, but wake up during the night, staying asleep combinations focus on sustained blood sugar levels and continued muscle relaxation. Oatmeal with a small amount of chopped almonds addresses this perfectly, providing complex carbohydrates for steady glucose release, plus ongoing magnesium for muscle peace throughout the night. You're essentially becoming a sleep chef in your own kitchen, experimenting with ingredients and timing to create personalized recipes that address your specific rest challenges. This isn't about following rigid formulas, but understanding the principles behind food combinations so you can adjust recipes based on your individual needs, preferences, and responses. Some people discover they need more protein-heavy combinations, while others respond better to mineral-rich pairings. The process becomes almost scientific as you fine-tune your approach based on how different combinations affect your sleep quality. Here are 3 powerful combination recipes with exact timing recommendations that address the most common sleep challenges. For rapid sleep onset, try the drowsy duo consumed 90 minutes before bedtime. Combine half a banana with 1 teaspoon of almond butter and 4 ounces of Tart cherry juice. The natural sugars boost serotonin production, the healthy fats provide sustained energy, the magnesium relaxes muscles, and the natural melatonin signals sleep time. For deep, sustained sleep, try the midnight maintenance blend consumed 2 hours before bed. Prepare a small bowl of oatmeal using 1/3 cup of oats, cooked with unsweetened almond milk, then top with 5 chopped almonds and a drizzle of honey. This combination provides complex carbohydrates for steady blood sugar, sustained muscle relaxation from multiple magnesium sources, and natural sleep hormone support. For anxiety-driven insomnia, try the Calm Commander consumed in stages starting 2 hours before bedtime with 2 thin slices of turkey on a small whole grain cracker, followed 45 minutes later by chamomile tea steeped with a slice of banana. This staged approach provides tryptophan for serotonin production, complex carbs for enhanced absorption, anxiety-reducing compounds from chamomile, and sustained mineral support. The remarkable thing about these combinations is how they work faster and provide longer-lasting effects than individual foods. The combined approach delivers sleep improvements within 15 minutes that last throughout the entire night. The synergistic effects mean your body receives multiple sleep-supporting signals, simultaneously creating a cascade of relaxation that's more powerful and sustainable than any single nutritional intervention. When you understand food combinations, you stop hoping for better sleep and start creating the precise biochemical conditions that make quality rest inevitable. Your kitchen transforms from a place where you prepare random snacks into a laboratory where you engineer the exact nutritional profile your body needs for deep restorative sleep. But maybe you're sitting there thinking this all sounds too good to be true, especially if you've been down this road before with other sleep solutions that promised everything and delivered nothing. Why this works when everything else failed? The skepticism makes perfect sense when you've invested time, money, and hope into solutions that ultimately disappointed you. Your bedroom probably resembles a sleep clinic showroom with blackout curtains thick enough to block out a solar, eclipse white noise machines that sound like everything from gentle rainfall to distant thunderstorms, and pillows arranged in configurations that would make a feng shui expert proud. Your medicine cabinet tells the story of a determined sleep seeker with bottles of melatonin supplements, magnesium pills, valerian root capsules, and maybe even prescription sleep aids that promised rest but delivered morning grogginess instead. You've probably accumulated a graveyard of failed sleep solutions tucked away in closets and drawers. There's that expensive weighted blanket that was supposed to calm your nervous system, but just made you feel trapped under a pile of sand. The sleep tracking device that monitored everything except actually helping you sleep better sits forgotten in a drawer next to charging cables for gadgets that promised miracles but delivered disappointment. You might have tried meditation apps that left you more focused on following breathing instructions than actually relaxing. Perhaps you invested in special pajamas made from bamboo fibers or temperature-regulating sheets that cost more than most people spend on groceries in a month. The frustration builds with each failed attempt because you know your body needs rest, yet nothing seems to work consistently. One solution might help for a few nights, then mysteriously stops being effective, leaving you back where you started wondering what went wrong. Another approach shows promise initially, but creates new problems like digestive issues or next-day fatigue that makes the cure worse than the original sleep problem. You start questioning whether quality sleep is even possible anymore, or if restless nights are simply your new reality. Here's why natural food-based approaches succeed where artificial solutions fail. They work with your body's existing systems, instead of trying to override them with external force. When you take synthetic sleep medications, you're essentially hijacking your brain's natural chemistry, forcing artificial drowsiness through pathways that weren't designed for chemical intervention. Your body recognizes these foreign substances as intruders and often develops tolerance, requiring higher doses over time or rebounds with worse sleep when you try to stop using them. It's like trying to fix a delicate watch with a hammer instead of precision tools. Food-based sleep solutions take the opposite approach. They provide your body with the raw materials it needs to produce its own sleep-promoting compounds naturally. When you eat Tart cherries, your body receives natural melatonin in the same form your pineal gland would produce if it were functioning optimally. When you consume oats, your digestive system converts complex carbohydrates into the glucose your brain needs to manufacture serotonin using pathways that have existed for millions of years. These foods don't force sleep. They simply remove the obstacles preventing your body from doing what it naturally wants to do. The patience required for natural solutions differs dramatically from the instant gratification promised by pharmaceutical approaches. Sleep medications often work within 30 minutes, creating immediate but artificial drowsiness that feels like progress even though it's chemically induced unconsciousness, rather than genuine restorative sleep. Food-based interventions work more gradually, building up your body's natural sleep chemistry over days or weeks, rather than forcing immediate changes. This slower timeline can feel frustrating initially, especially when you're desperate for relief after months or years of poor sleep. But here's what makes consistency more important than perfection with these food strategies. Your body responds better to gentle, persistent signals than dramatic interventions, followed by periods of neglect. Think of it like tending a garden, where daily watering produces better results than occasional flooding. You don't need to execute these food combinations perfectly every single night to see benefits. Missing a night or two won't reset your progress because you're working with biological systems that have built-in resilience and memory. Your sleep chemistry improves gradually and maintains those improvements even when your routine isn't flawless. The irony becomes almost comical when you realize that your kitchen might be more effective than the sleep clinic you've been considering. While sleep specialists use expensive equipment to monitor your brain waves and breathing patterns, your refrigerator contains compounds that can actually improve those same measurements naturally. The Tart cherry juice, sitting next to your orange juice, contains the same melatonin that sleep labs measure in your saliva. The oats in your pantry provide the complex carbohydrates that sleep clinics recommend for serotonin production. You've been searching for solutions in medical facilities, while the answers were hiding behind your cereal boxes all along. Realistic expectations matter enormously for success with food-based sleep approaches. Most people notice subtle improvements within the first week, such as falling asleep slightly faster or experiencing fewer middle-of-the-night wake-ups. More significant changes typically develop over 2 to 4 weeks as your body's natural sleep chemistry begins operating more efficiently. The improvements aren't usually dramatic overnight transformations, but rather gradual shifts toward deeper, more consistent rest that accumulates into substantially better sleep quality over time. The safety profile of food-based sleep solutions stands in stark contrast to pharmaceutical interventions that carry warnings about side effects, drug interactions, and dependency risks. When you eat a banana with almond butter before bed, the worst possible outcome is consuming a few extra calories, not developing tolerance, requiring higher doses, or experiencing withdrawal symptoms if you skip a night. These foods support your overall health while improving sleep quality, creating positive effects that extend far beyond just better rest. Food-based approaches also address underlying nutritional deficiencies that often contribute to sleep problems in the first place. Many sleep difficulties stem from inadequate magnesium, potassium, or amino acid intake rather than true sleep disorders. By providing these missing nutrients through whole foods, you're correcting root causes instead of just masking symptoms with artificial interventions. The foods we've discussed succeed where everything else failed because they respect the wisdom of your body's design, while providing the nutritional support your sleep systems need to function optimally. Tonight, you have the opportunity to try something different, something that works with your body rather than against it. The power to transform your nights lies not in expensive supplements or complex sleep protocols, but in simple food choices you can make starting tonight. Your kitchen contains everything needed to reclaim deep restorative sleep without prescriptions or dependency risks. Pick just one food we've discussed and try it this evening. Whether it's a handful of almonds 90 minutes before bed or a small bowl of oatmeal, as your evening snack, you're taking the first step toward better rest. Quality sleep remains possible at any age when you work with your body's natural chemistry rather than against it. Share your results in the comments below and let me know which food you decide to try first. Your journey to better sleep starts with a single choice tonight.